Bloomberg.
We can save more money not using oil than using it. We can actually make more money not using oil than if we kept using it. The amount of savings we get by switching to alternative energies pays off better than any return on investment you can find in the market. And the reason we're not using it is because we're just like some of our ancestors who were hell-bent stuck on whale fat to power their lighting. And they were like, oh, we're the industry that controls the whale fat, and we're going to suppress the technology of Edison. And they tried it as long as they could, and then it was just undeniable. People broke out of that stupid program, and then they decided, yeah, it doesn't make sense for us to waste all this money and become dependent on a bunch of people who want to kill us.
I just want to point out as a physicist that Edison did not have shit to do with the light bulb.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
It was Nikola Tesla.
It was Nikola Tesla. Yes.
Come on.
So when people say like we can't do this, you can look at countless communities now since the 70s because of that massive oil spike, which.
Get over here, cowboy! Don't try to run away. Come here.
From the warming, cowboy. Our warming is your good day for tips.
So there's always somebody faking it. That ain't the real cowboy.
There's no tips to that cowboy.
That ain't him, I'm telling you.
I know, I've seen it. That cowboy's old as hell. I'm not old, but he's like old.
Yeah, he's trying to make a hustle. You can't blame him. It's America. He's entitled to eat too.
Oh yeah, let's
Let
go
him
water.
What?
Watch this. Why should only the real cowboy make all the money? Let somebody else get some of that spread out too.
Like, hey, I'm a little warm. Can you try to cool me down?
How you doing, people? South Parko reporting live, Midtown Manhattan, New York City, the greatest city in the world. Thank you.
What do we believe about the fact that we have had a 2 degrees warming at a rate unprecedented in Earth's history?
Is there water in there?
No,
I don't
not
think
yet.
that
Humans
are the complete cause of that.
Yeah, watch out, you might get arrested.
It's contribute. Yes. Yes, of course.
You can still
That's
score it.
absolutely what you just said is 100% true.
Wow, we agree.
Yes, but the things that amplify that, we are not in control of all of the systems that amplify it, but we are starting.
All the stuff.
And it's
Do you know that?
This guy claims he owns oil wells in Kuwait.
Oh, cool.
I don't own it. Government owns it. But you work with them, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
I am petroleum engineer.
Right.
So what are they going to do? They're going to keep screwing us up, charging us top dollar. We're going to go in and take all the oil.
Yeah, he's going to stop buying oil. I lose my job.
We're going to take it all and bring it up to Alaska.
But if you keep raising the oil prices, we can't buy oil.
No, oil is artificially suppressed. The price of it is artificially
Let's
suppressed.
hear it from the real oil man.
They
Come on.
keep it low so we
We
keep
don't
buying.
raise the oil. I mean, the oil prices.
They keep it low so
You
we keep
people
buying.
here, it's like a smoking, you know?
We're
I buy a
addicted
pack
to
of
oil.
cigarette, Marlboro cigarette, in Kuwait for $1. I pay here how much?
13.
13.
But you get free
Yeah?
chemo with
There-
the Marlboro
there is
Miles.
an easier way to stop that, you know?
How do you stop?
Just to close the tobacco companies,
Shut them down.
you know? Shut them down.
Yeah, but they own our government.
Instead, the poor people, the heavy smokers, right? The poor people, because he doesn't have anything, right?
Right. You're right.
So you are raising the prices on this poor guy, and he goes and.
But there's
looking
also
for
other ways
pleasure.
too. If we drill for our own oil here, it'll be cheaper. If I grow my own tobacco, it'll be cheaper.
All right, here, let me clarify this as
Just let me tell you, you don't use
Guys.
your oil. You are keeping it reserved for the future.
Right. You are predicting the price of oil in the future, and that determines its price right now. In the United States, we subsidize oil $1 trillion a year. That's a quarter of our national GDP. So you pay a quarter of everything, essentially, to make the oil cheaper so that basically the mass users of it benefit, whereas you and I, who can really easily make choices about how much gas we use, are totally oblivious to the fact that we could be saving money, but it's being put on our backs as taxpayers. So if we did not subsidize oil, you know how much it would cost the United States today? It would cost $14 a gallon.
Oh, yeah,
You know how much money we would save as individuals if we cut out like a quarter of all of our taxes and could decide what we do with all of our money?
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Okay, so what's
We
your
should
name?
boycott oil for a day. Nobody
My
but
name?
yes.
Just let the price rise.
We got Joe here from Kuwait. He's going to continue saying
Yeah,
other
go for
things,
it.
educate the world. We heard it
No,
from
no,
Ted.
I'm
Now
not-
we're going to hear it
I'm
from
not.
you.
See, I have been in the United States for several times. For a long time, I was educated in the United States. I'm a graduate of University of Pittsburgh from Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're an American guy.
Yes, yeah. So I
Good
was
man.
5-6 years there. You know.
Okay.
I used to buy from Georgia a pack of cigarettes for 20 cents.
Right.
You know. I used to pay $2 for a carton. You know?
Oh, in Georgia, United States.
In Georgia,
Yeah, it was
States,
cheap, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
because I was in Pittsburgh. I just crossed the border
Right.
to Virginia, and I buy there.
That's all it's worth anyway.
Yeah, so that's what it was. And now you're paying 13 for 20 cents.
That's Bloomberg. He taxed them.
Yeah,
Me.
another thing, you know, like at that time, I remember, I used to buy McDonald's a full meal for 69 cents.
Right,
How
cheap.
much you buy it now?
$17, $12.
Yes.
$90,000.
You keep raising the prices of commodities,
start
so
digging in my
people
backyard.
raising the prices of oil, you know?
Everything's so high.
Yes.
And then they put a piano inside
Blame it on
McDonald's.
Obama.
They put a piano in there, and then they put some flower pots in there, and they think they're going to call a high-class restaurant and throw the homeless people out in the middle of the night when they're in there buying a cup of coffee. That's not right.
Yes, right.
The McDonald's was built for the poor man. That's why it was quick and cheap. Now all of a sudden, it's just as much as any other place, and you got to wait twice as long. And you're getting served garbage. We got to make McDonald's. They ought to shut them down first.
They are, as he's saying, they are all alternatives. See, oil
Right.
you need it by hook or by
should
crook.
go solar.
We don't
You
need
need it.
McDonald's. McDonald's we could do without.
All the chemical companies are based on the oil. Or the medications based on the oil.
Right, all the cheese
Yeah,
too.
yes,
but
all the,
Yeah, make cheese with
the
it.
fertilizers are based on the oil.
Yeah.
So oil is not only gasoline.
No, it's
Gasoline
everything.
is
Oil is one of the
something.
most precious
Plastics.
commodities
Yeah.
in the planet.
Yeah.
And you
See,
shouldn't
this
use it as
plastic
a
is made from
gasoline.
oil.
You
Right,
should find
right.
them somewhere
And we
else.
have
so right.
like,
If you
it's-
do that,
it's
you will save
economically sound.
the energy,
Like,
you
not
will
anybody's
save the what you call it,
The planet,
the
save the
planet,
environment,
so-
everything. Crisis, they immediately asked all Americans to conserve, and I think in the 70s was before the big old plot by Goldman Sachs, etc., was started. And so they asked all Americans to conserve, and everybody got smaller cars, and people really were trying to conserve. And now, both Obama and Bush have never asked us to conserve. They've never asked people to get away from their big-ass SUVs, which are the biggest waste. They've never asked for any of that because this kind of consumption is feeding our government, which is based on all of these dirty contracts with oil producers and stuff. But really, it's not fiscally in their best interest to get us off oil because they have all these deals with the energy companies. That's part of the reason why we're here occupying Wall Street.
I remember, as you said, in 1970, also the car speeds were lower to 50. 50 miles, you know.
Exactly.
And now people are driving like crazy.
And
on
the
highways.
government raised the speed limit.
Yes.
It's more dangerous and consumes more
Yes,
energy.
yes, for
I see
your
a
life.
pattern here.
That's right.
There are several ways
continuous
to do
pattern.
things, you know. But you have those rich people, they don't like it. You know.
I say melt the gold and feed the poor. You got a lot of gold in this world. Melt it down and start feeding the sick and the hungry. Give them medication, get them cured up, get them back on their feet, and start
your
the
name?
economy going again.
Jawad, Jawad.
Jawad.
But go to her.
Jawad.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Sorry.
Alright, that's my check.
Occupy Wall Street. Really, what do we make that do?
So, somebody just called my phone and shut down my stream for a second. Don't
Just
call
since you guys were
the
talking
phone.
about oil, look up Amory Levins's TED Talk. He did an analysis funded by the Pentagon about how we can completely change the U.S. economy by creating a totally sustainable green, like not using any oil in unstable regions that makes our country weak, that screws our jobs. Like, people are like, oh yeah, let's build more cars, that'll make more jobs. Let's build more roads. You have any, like, if Google has the technology for our cars basically to drive efficiently. To run efficiently, like you can drive 70 miles an hour with cars like on the highway, go like this far apart from each other, like in mass. You can actually go like 100 miles an hour, and the mileage that you can get in mass basically makes it so we never have to build a road again. We need to develop technology so that we can use our infrastructure efficiently, so we can transfer out of cars that blow up things to move and use freaking like alternative energy systems that can transfer that to an efficient engine.
We're in 2012. There's no reason why we don't have that already.
Yeah, an electric engine requires zero maintenance. The average American spends over 25% of all of their income into their car. 25% of all of our income goes to maintaining our vehicles.
Unless you live in New York City.
And guess what? You can also do a hybrid with you. And there's so much unused energy too. You can easily like hybrid your vehicle right now with DIY parts to use a hydrogen fuel cell you can build in your house and basically double your mileage. The people who actually made that technology, so one of them is kind of a creep, but like he died a year after releasing his. He mysteriously died a year after releasing this technology.
Did you know that in the 50s there was actually a engine that would run on anything other than gasoline, vegetable oil, WD-40? You could pour just about any oil into this engine and it would run. It was mass produced in the 50s. Within a year and a half, 10,000 of these vehicles were made. Almost all of them were pulled off the streets and they were illegalized. They were one of the safest, most fuel efficient engines ever created, and it was done in 1950s. Why are we not using this today?
Right, and the first cars ran on electricity. The first cars were fucking electric vehicles, and guess what? You have the Rockefellers who are like, we own all of the oil. Let's actually, and then they also happen to have a lot of connection with banks. So they literally destroyed the electric car. And then in the 70s, when we had a massive crisis that literally almost killed the American economy, we started making electric vehicles, and you watch the murder of the electric vehicle or killing the electric car. Every single electric car was literally taken off the streets and like smashed. They were put into pulverizing landfills. Like our economy has been manipulated. The reason the American economy is the way it is right now is because a lot of investors and bankers thrive off of our poverty. They thrive off of our poverty, and they're thriving now off of the catastrophes that are occurring at an exponentially growing rate. They thrive off catastrophe. They thrive off of a weak economy and weak people. So we need to empower ourselves, and there's local production. You look at the DIY car industry, the open source car manufacturing industry, we have local cars being manufactured by awesome people right now. If you go to poptech.com and look up the DIY cars, these cars get like 85 miles